record every Sunday. I think we've only done one that was not on Sunday. I'm going to be your host today, and my name is Officer Wyler. I'm joined, as always, by lovely ladies here. Of course, I'm one as well. But first we got Dem Play Fox.
Hello.
Let's see if I can go for 2 out of 2 weeks on this. I'm messing it up. Eric Tavares.
Hello, you got it.
Let's see, hope I can do it every week now. And last, we got a new person joining us. Of all of these, she wasn't on last week. Sierra Faye.
Hi.
And actually, a special treat, it's also her birthday, so if you're listening to this, you're probably being a little late, but happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and as usual, for the rest of the stuff, you can reach us on our Twitter accounts at whispering_dawn. And you can also email us at whisperingdawn@gmail.com. Please email us so we can get some mail on this show. I'd love to be able to read mail and comment on it. So, how's everybody doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm actually doing pretty good. I actually got, I'm up to now in level 106 on my eye level.
Ooh, congrats.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm also started doing my atma grinding a lot more forcefully, and I'm at 4 atmas now. I'm hoping to get that thing completed by the new expansion.
I wish you the best of luck on that. Best of luck. I know Relic's a lot of work, so.
Yeah, good luck. Relic is a lot. It's worth for like at least one character. Have at least one thing maxed out.
Oh,
Yep, I
no.
agree with that.
Agree. Usually.
Okay, today we're actually going to be talking about a few things. We're going to do some more wrap-up from last time. Plus, we're going to go over the more stuff that was released today. Or not today, a couple days ago. On the main site. On the new job classes and the new race and everything. So, I mean, and I do have to clarify one thing. I was kind of right when I said that the traveler at the end is different for each person. There's actually 3 brothers that you see at your opening cutscene, depending on which way you go. Let me close this down for a little bit here. You got Brennan, Fremont, and Brett.
Huh, didn't even realize that.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, so, I mean, I thought that was kind of strange that he looked exactly the same. But I was like, okay, how does he know me? And then I looked it up, because after I said last week I was going to look it up, and that's what I found out.
Interesting. Well, it's good to know. I'm surprised that there hasn't been more talk about that.
There's actually a thread going on the forums on how the opening, this is just for like 1.0 legacy players, that it shows up in your log as you met him while walking into Limsa at the start. I didn't even know that legacy players got a different thing to begin with.
Huh.
I wouldn't know. Unfortunately, I didn't get in until they had released it onto PS3, so I wasn't part of the 1.0 crowd, unfortunately. I wanted to be, but
I feel like I should know that, but I didn't. I don't remember.
I was, and I don't know that.
yeah.
I guess from what I see from this thing, you enter Limsa from the other side, not from the harbor, but because you reappeared in a shroud, and then I guess you walked to wherever you needed to go, and you apparently met these people on your way there.
I did not know that. But like I said, I wasn't 1.0 crowd. So.
Yeah, I didn't know either. That's kind of different. But that's awesome though, that the person that you get at the end is the person that took you into your city-state, and they all have like different names.
That's a cool little fact.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I actually listened to, I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts, but I was listening to the Lorecast, and they brought up some interesting stuff that I actually wanted to touch on. It's interesting because they actually made the point that Square Enix in this game have a tendency to foreshadow a lot of the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Makes sense.
Because, like, I guess I haven't been paying attention to most of the story when I was running it, but I guess there is a line that Rybold's friend said to him about him losing his right arm before he would even attempt to harm Rybold or something like that, and it was the right arm that Rybold lost, so...
Huh. And I guess I just, I've been playing for so long that me being able to recall those kinds of things, I guess I don't know, it's a little too far out of my my range of memory, I suppose.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that some of the stuff that just, foreshadows the entire thing. And I guess I didn't pick on this up on this last time when I did it, but when I went through because I actually recorded those entire cutscenes when I was streaming, is that she actually, Satoru actually says that a line about everybody's gonna come home or something like that.
That's pretty interesting to hear some of this stuff after the fact.
I'm gonna have to kind of get on and read a little bit and go back maybe and maybe watch some of my cutscenes.
Yeah, I feel like I have to go back and rewatch them.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I mean, God, I watched those originally in 2013, so for me to remember back that far is a bit of a stretch, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit too far off to be remembering details like that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's typical. That's typical Final Fantasy, typical Square Enix, I think, to really pay that much attention to detail and have everything so meticulously planned out this far in advance.
Well, it's like we said in the last show. There's always an ultimatum. It always comes back to something.
Exactly. Be interesting to see how that all ties together and if it does tie together in Heaven's Ward or if they're saving that for even a later expansion that they're sitting on.
It may halfway tie in and then just the rest of it tie in to drag you into the next expansion.
Oh, probably. I'm sure that's exactly what's going to happen.
No, they did actually pose a question that I would like to ask you and see what your take on this. But with her poisoning, I'm talking about the queen that was in Oda, do you think maybe that was maybe fake and she's going to come back later on?
I doubt it.
No, I think she's done.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Unfortunately, I do have to say that I think Nanamo is fortunately no longer going to be leading Olda.
This is interesting because my link shells like to talk about this, and also on Tumblr it's a big thing too. There's personally, I kind of don't think that she's gone. I mean, if you go and talk to some of the NPCs afterward, there's word that she's sick and that she's not dead. And I kind of feel like if if she was dead, the word would get out because, so the monitors can do whatever evil things they're planning to do. I don't feel like they would wait on something like that and kind of make up a story like she's sick.
I think they would simply just to be able to take full control of the city state. They need they need time to get everything in order, and they've been meticulously planning this to get this done. So it seems to me that they actually would wait it out and take as much time as they can get before releasing that bomb and have full control.
Yeah, yeah, and that makes sense too.
I could see it go either way, and frankly, I hate to say it, and it's gonna sound awful, but I would kind of be disappointed if they were like, ah, just kidding, she's not dead, everything's cool. I I feel like it would kind of take away from the climax of the story.
No, you're right. It would, as sad as it is, I wish Nanamo hadn't died, but to have her come back all of a sudden and be like, no, she's good,
Good.
that would be
Right.
dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how it's executed. Um, I guess it depends on how it's executed. There might be some outrage either way. Oh,
Another thing that we have talked about in some of my social link shells is the importance of the arm that was cut off of Raban, and how that arm was the one that he would hold the Sultana up on, and so that was another thing to go for. She was dead. Was that his arm was cut off, and she kind of represented his arm kind of represented her. So that's something that they use too.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that, but that is true.
that is interesting. We'll have to wait and see, right?
See, different people catch on to different details.
They do, and I'd actually want to go back and just rewatch all the cutscenes because I missed all these details before.
I noticed it, I just don't think I put the one and one together like that.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed, I just assumed that she was done. But you never know. I mean, this is a fantasy game, and they can do whatever they want.
As bad as it sounds, Nanamo can stay dead as long as they don't kill Thancred and the rest.
you know, I have a feeling they're all going to be alive, but I wonder if they're going to take one or two of them out.
I think one or two of them have to go, and I think as you progress through Heavensward, they'll slowly come, until you cap, they'll slowly be reintroduced back in.
They wonder who though.
That was my thought, that they might take one or two, just because of how the cutscene looked. Papalimo and Ida seemed okay. I mean,
Yeah,
in
it
my
makes
mind,
sense.
it
Yeah.
was like we don't have to sacrifice ourselves for a limit break, which I assumed was kind of what they were doing. But when it comes to Thancred and Y'shtola, if they brought the tunnels down on themselves, then there's no telling, I guess, what happens to them.
Well,
I think
and
they
see that's the
wanted to
thing.
leave it up in a toss up in the air to see who it was, because everybody wants to know who lived, who died. And SC is all about the cinematics and the story and the cliffhangers.
And see that. Well, it can't be Minfilia because she never dies. Like she's always the like I said, princess like, in another castle.
Bowser.
Well, the other thing that I heard, like from a broadcast, is, and I didn't catch this at the time, but Nephilia said something about, crap, what was it, the crystal thing, like talking to her before she went right in. And
Yeah, she
your
hadn't heard it in a
character,
long time.
and your
Yeah.
character kind of mouthed something like, but I didn't hear anything.
Well, but see, I think that is part of you losing your light. So maybe, because she still has it and your character doesn't because it was taken by Midgar Stormer. So that was my line of thought on that.
Well, the thing that I find interesting is they even said it on the broadcast is that those crystals did not really explode, they just turned black.
My line. Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
User joined your channel.
Hey. Podcast. I got the podcast.
I'm sorry, I am late for this anonymous meeting. Hello. I am late for the anonymous meeting. Sorry.
Okay, that's weird.
Are you
Okay,
part of
what
the
is
free
the
company?
deal? Are you gonna hack ISIS or the NSA? That's the thing I wanna know so I can get started.
No, I'm sorry. You are completely barking up the wrong tree. That's not even close to what my company's about. So I'd really appreciate if you would kindly
I
just
know, sorry, it was a troll. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I'll get out.
thank you.
Done.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay, that was very weird.
Weirdos never cease to amaze me.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be password protecting this from now on, and if I have to change who administers my server, I will make sure that I will do so, so that my entire TeamSpeak server is password protected. So, because that was really weird.
That was creepy as hell.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, so maybe I'll just delete that entire exchange.
That would be awesome. My free company, where I titled it The Anonymous, but it had nothing to do with hacker groups or anything. It's a long story, and I'm not going to get into it, but essentially, all of us left the bad place that we were in, and we just wanted to be left alone. We wanted to be anonymous. So that's where the name came from. It has nothing to do with hackers or ISIS or online vigilantism. It is just, we just wanted to get away from the people that we were with and start something fresh under the radar. So that's the understory to why my channel is titled what it is, because that's our free company's name.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get a password set up though for the main channel, and then also the podcast channel, and then I'll make sure to get that to you guys so that doesn't happen again. I apologize about that.
No worries, not your fault.
Yeah, it's still pretty weird though. So
Okay, I'm sorry, what were we talking about right before that happened?
Crystals.
we were talking about light and who we think is alive, who we think is not alive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of go with Sierra there, and I'm not sure if, Yustula and Stingray made it out, because that's the entire cavern coming down on you.
Hush,
Yeah.
don't say those words.
But you know what? I bet you, she is a white mage, so she can cast protection spells. So maybe they're gonna mix in something where she casts like a shield, kind of like in the intro movie, where Louis Soix casts the shield.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe it'll be something like that, and
she definitely could. The only thing that scared me about that was that she was the one doing her big spell or whatever it was. So, if she was too occupied with attacking and not able to defend. But it could go either way.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Too many questions.
On you, SE, please give us answers.
They will, June 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, one thing was answered for me, and was on the Facebook, on the Facebook page that I actually met all you on, and that's the Steam pre-orders is coming in May.
May. Okay, any word on uh PS4?
I actually went through ordering um, ahead of time. Me and my husband, we ordered a digital download for my husband and the PS4 collector's edition, but it doesn't give me the early access code, which I've been going back and forth with SE about, trying to figure out what's going on, why his has a code and mine's doesn't.
That's weird because okay, so where did you find the digital collector's edition though? Because I haven't been able to find it.
I actually went through the SE store.
Huh, okay. I'm gonna have to look later then.
Yeah, but when you open it, we encountered a problem where when we were trying to process the payment, it was telling us that the numbers are invalid. So when I set up a ticket with SE, they sent something back and said to do it on another browser. So we closed out Google Chrome, went into Internet Explorer, bam, it processed without a problem.
I bet you that's where I've been having the difficulty then, is because I've been using Chrome.
Yeah, for some reason, Chrome and SE don't get along.
All right then. Well, I guess I'll be trying that tomorrow. Thank you for the tip. Okay, he's now in my. Hang on, just a second. Uh, need to ban this reason.
So you trying to come back in?
Yeah, he's in my main channel.
I see it.
Oh, he's gone. Ban. All right, now I just freaking me out.
Yeah, I figured we'd have back in anyway.
Cool.
But yeah, so Steam users, you gotta be some month when we can get this. No word if it's gonna include the early access for Steam users, but at least a good date, I guess.
It should. I don't see no reason why it shouldn't. I mean, technically, I think anyone who's pre-ordering should be able to get the early access within a reasonable time frame.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not
And it,
looking for that, you know. So.
yeah, I mean, people that are going to be doing it from Steam, they've been waiting, just like regular PC users or anybody. It's not their fault that they weren't able to purchase it. There was just no way for them to purchase it yet.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm hoping that that's not going to cause a problem with my husband receiving early access because this is how we connect since we're essentially at this time a long distance couple. And I know that's something that they would really, would really like to be able to do together is to come into it early.
Yeah, well, if I find out anything else, I'll keep you posted because I know you play on PS4. Um, I guess by tomorrow I should hear something else from SE. The last email I got from them just stated that they have escalated it to higher ups and they will keep me posted as far as the early access for PS4.
Okay, sounds good. I will look forward to hearing from you on that one.
Does anybody have anything else to mention about the Aurora, the last storyline at all?
I think I'm good actually.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm good.
Okay, well, let's get into the lore of the next storyline, or Heaven's Word. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, yeah, they released some lore on the races and the classes.
I do have to say the Dark Knight looks awesome.
Amazing. It's the tank class of my dreams.
It is the only thing that is making me want to tank. I actually, once I cap my monk at 60, I'm going to turn around and go straight into Dark Knight.
I can't wait. I love tanking. I actually like it a lot more than I thought that I would, and I'm stoked. I'm so stoked.
Okay, I'm gonna read some of these because it does give us a little more perspective on what we're gonna get into in Ishgard. So,
Okay.
okay, so the Lord for the Dark Knights. The pious Ishgardian clergy guide the flock and the devout knights protect the weak. Yet even the holiest men succumb to the darkest of temptations. None dare to administer justice to the sacrosanct elite residing outside the reach of the law. Who then defends the feeble from the transgressions of those meant to guide and protect them? They violently take up arms to defend the downtrodden, and not even the holy priests and knights can escape their judgment. Pariahs in their own lands, they are known by many as dark knights. These sentinels bear no shields declaring their allegiance. Instead, the great swords act as beacons to guide the meek through darkness.
Who wouldn't want to play Dark Knight after reading that?
Exactly, exactly. That's how I felt.
I've never tanked and I want to tank just from reading that.
You'll like it. It's a lot of fun. I didn't think that I was gonna like tanking, and it's right up there with me loving healing. And I really think that Dark Knight's gonna bring the people that really didn't want to try tanking because the lore behind it is so very dare I say Batman-like.
I'm actually, after reading that, I'm actually considering to go up Dark Knight for a little bit.
Give
I
it a
don't know.
shot. I bet you'll like it.
Maybe the queue times. Well, I'm looking forward to not having to wait such a long time on queue time since I'm used to the DPS wait. When my husband goes on his tank, it's like 5 seconds. It pops right up.
Yeah, it really does. PSQs are awful.
But how much would that, how much is it going to go up when there are more tanks now on the server?
Well, see, that's going to be the trick
Balance it
is
out, though.
getting the balance. I think we have
Yeah.
more DPS, especially since Ninja had come out and everything. There's more DPS than tanks.
I think it's right. I agree with that. Absolutely.
I think this is a really smart move though for them to release all three because Ninja was by itself, and so it was, everyone else had really fast queues, but all the poor DPS were just kind of stuck. But I
It
think this
really
is
killed the
gonna
queues.
definitely help the balance in Duty Finder.
I agree.
I hope so, because I've had some horrible waits sometimes with my monk.
Oh, I bet. I can't even imagine.
Okay, so did anybody get, when they were reading that, the vibe that there's actually a little class going on in this part at all?
Oh yeah, entirely, absolutely. And to me, I mean, that seemed like it just kind of fit though with the culture that's within Kurthus. I figure that that's probably going to carry over to Ishgard, if not at the same level, probably a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. And I don't know if any of you are on Tumblr and part of the 14 Tumblr community, but there was a post going around about some of this lore, and Dark Knight, I guess, is actually tied into Arthurian legends about Black Knights and how they would black out their shields to hide their allegiances if they had to go make some money other than from their main employer and things like that. So I thought that was really neat too.
No, that does sound actually pretty cool. I do know that kind of backstory as far as from the Arthurian legends.
You know, that would.
I didn't quite catch that one.
Like you didn't record, or?
Like, I just heard, like, just a jumble mess.
Oh, well, I heard it clear. That's weird. Well, I didn't really have much to say, so I'll let them talk about it, I guess. Oh.
No, I heard, like, them hearing about the, Arthurian legend, and I think you said something and just didn't, I don't know
Kind
what
of cut you off.
Oh, huh. Well, that's okay. It really wasn't anything super important anyways, so
Oh, okay.
you just edit out the awkward part here. I would.
Don't worry, I got tons of edits to do, especially for that creepy guy. And now,
Right? That was super awkward and kind of strange, so.
and now the place is looking for what we're talking about.
Right? It was like super creepy though, because he had like the like horror movie voice altering thing, and oh, I don't know. I'm ugh.
Well, maybe he knows what we did last summer.
I guess. Well, last summer I was sitting at home with my kids, so he doesn't have a case against me. Case against.
Me too.
Anyway, back to Dark Knight here. But yeah, when reading that, I did get the vibe that there's like a clash, and that a lot of the holy knights are actually succumbing to temptations and turning black. So it's gonna be interesting.
It's going to be really good to see how they weave the story out and tie it into everything else. Um, the three new jobs and new classes they're all distinct, but they all look like they're going to have some really fun abilities.
Oh yeah.
And then I want to see what new abilities, the old classes are going to get.
Yeah, I did too, but I'm more like I want to see how their like the stories that they from like because it looks like every 5 levels you get like a story element tied to those, and I like to see what the story house can be interwoven with those with the old classes and the new stuff.
Still super. Honest to God, I find it a little bit overwhelming, and it's great, and I'm super excited. But I've spent so much time working so hard to get not even closely finished um, with the current content, and I feel like I'm already behind, you know?
I think a lot of people now are going to end up rushing through just to try to be done with the current content, instead of, taking it in. And if you're a week or two behind, a big deal. Enjoy the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, I'm talking about like not necessarily having the 50s that I want, um, and really feeling like I'm where I want to be in the game before an expansion comes out. And that's just for me a personal goal, a completionist issue, I guess you could say.
Me too. I just don't have the time to do all of them to 50. I see some people have that, and I'm like, yeah, I have a life and I have kids. There's no way that I can get every single character to 50.
I'm gonna try, but I also have a kid and a life, you know.
Well, that's the same thing for me. I have other things to do too, and I can't just be sitting there, getting all this stuff I need. I feel way behind now that I don't even have my relic weapon.
Yeah, and my husband's really dealing with that now too, because he really didn't choose to do relic until he got ninja, and he really fell in love with ninja, and he is currently working on his scroll right now, and we just, he feels like he's not going to have the time that he needs to get it done before.
I would say that the scroll is the hardest part, and I think after that it kind of breezes by.
I agree with you on that one. I think a lot of that just depends on whether or not you are very skilled at desynth and making money.
Yes, that's very true.
And if you're lucky to get your dungeon drops quickly, because I had to run Snowcloak over 60 times.
Yeah, that was my Copper Bell hard mode.
Oh,
Holy
I got
hell.
lucky on that one.
For me, it was Aurum Vale. That one just kept killing me. And
Oh,
oh, that was horrible.
I feel for you. I really do. I got so lucky. We had a brand new tank we had in there, and people were raging, and I was just like, I was healing it. I was totally cool. I was patient, and I got my drop right away. And I had to feel like that was some RNG right there, you know?
I
of,
had to go into that so many times, and almost every time I went in, it was with a group that wanted like the entire clear for XP, and that was horrible.
I'm sorry. I feel for you. I got lucky on that one, but I got pretty sick of Snowcloak and DD.
Snowcloak, I think I got like on the second or third drop.
Oh, I ran it. I probably ran it, honest to God, close to 100 times. I quit counting at like 60. After that, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to know.
Oh, I believe you. I think it took me a week or just a little bit over a week to get it completed, everything done.
Took me about 2.
Okay,
So,
I'm just gonna go and read the afterwards and then when you guys discuss this. Sorry, not to
no, that's
keep.
fine. Go right ahead.
The affirmation I thought was a little blockbuster, but this is what it said. Everyone has made covenant knowledge, and none more so than of his faith. Thus he did labor to master the skill of foresight, but initial efforts for little fruit. That is, until you look to the stars above, which foretell the coming seasons, and learn to read the heavens. Though this gift is known today as astrology, the people of Shurian saw fit not to only read the stars, but write their movements as well, by tuning their astral energies to that of the constellations. They learned to wield magics with hereto unseen properties. That was astromancy born, a new form of magic which grants its users power over fate, employing a snow globe and a divining deck. In the miraculous deeds, fortune always smiles upon these masters of arcana.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the lackluster part. I mean,
Yeah,
it does sound
absolutely.
cool, but um, Dark Knight sounds it's still up there.
You know,
Yeah.
it was not enough for me. It was me to give up my eye level 130 white mage. It just
No.
enough, you know?
And it doesn't give you any like backstory either on what we're gonna be coming into in this part at all.
But you
Right.
know what? I really feel like they made it really very, very much like Scholar, and I didn't feel like it was set it apart. You know what I mean?
To me, it sounds very much like Scholar, and my Scholars just got to eye level 120, and I wouldn't turn around and do Astrologian and get rid of Scholar for that. No.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also have a 130 white mage, and this just kind of seems like I'm not excited enough. And just from the description, it's not very clear that it's even a healer. I mean, other than um, using powers over fate.
Yeah.
She's wielding a Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
That's basically what it sounds. It seems to me. It's like, okay, you got a deck of cards. Here's a spinning globe. Go at it.
I mean, the cinematics for it probably are going to be beautiful.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know if that's enough for me though to start fresh. You know what I mean?
Oh no. Dark Knight is probably going to be the best graphically for all of them.
Yeah, I'm really feeling that astrology because I've been wanting that since I heard about it. So I think we continue with that.
Well, and I can respect that. You know, it's just I think for us, maybe because we have such high leveled um, healers already, that to start over for something that's rather lackluster, to me it's just not worth it, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, my scholar, probably by the time that, and that's my name, by the time we probably get to Heavensward, my scholar's going to be 120, 130, so I don't know.
I'll definitely give it a shot, but I'm not feeling too good about switching or anything.
No, me either.
I was excited for the class, but that didn't make me as excited as, as the Dark Knight did or the Mechanist did, but it was really lackluster. They could have probably put some more effort into that one.
Yeah. No, it sounds to me like they ripped off an old lore from a scholar when they were planning the game and then just decided to label it astrology.
That sounds exactly right.
Yeah.
So then we're going to get a Mechanist, which actually, it looks like they ripped this off from the trailers that we've been seeing. So the war with Javinia rages on, brutal and unrelenting, with no end in sight. The holy seas grows desperate as her dragoons lay down their lives in defense of their home. Ishgard turns to technology to protect her sons and daughters. Great cannons and ballista now line the city walls, plucking dragons from the sky. Following the example of Sid Garland, who has demonstrated the potency of magic tech, the Sky Steel Manufactory works tirelessly on the development of advanced armaments. As new and devastating weapons are brought to the fray, a new class of champion arises to wield them, the Mechanist.
And this is how they tie Sid right into Ishgard.
I feel like this one has the least amount of effort put into it. I'm thinking that at least that the last two had some form of lore behind it, and this one is just kind of like our last resort, our machines. So we're gonna try this.
I think this one is mostly just because so many people wanted this, but I don't really feel like they put that together too well.
I agree. I was super excited. I was excited to read about it because I really, really want to dive into Machinist as a DPS class. And I found like it was kind of just blah, and kind of dumbed it down for me for a little bit, but I'm still really excited to level a Machinist.
And that's probably how I feel about astrology too, because I'm so excited to do it, but that was just really bad description. And this is, I mean, even the description of the Mechanist is the same thing we've been seeing in the trailers the entire time.
Yeah, I'm still gonna stick with Dark Knight first.
Agree. Oh yeah. No, well, I don't know.
You're torn.
I don't know, torn because I'm gonna have a 50 warrior here within the next few days, and but I don't know. We'll see, I guess. So.
Yeah, the Mechanist just, it's like I said, it seems like it was straight from the trailer, like, oh, how can we tie a Mechanist and say no to one? Let's just take the trailer and just put it down this description.
Yeah, out of all of them, even the pictures that they have up, I don't really care for the pictures of the Mechanist. The Dark Knight pictures look awesome. Even the Astrologian, the pictures are pretty nice.
Oh yeah, no, they're beautiful, and I think that the concept behind Astrologian is going to be absolutely beautiful. I think it's going to be very cinematic, like you guys said. But I think it's too much like Scholar for me to really be interested in it.
Yeah, I already have a scholar. I wouldn't want to do that twice.
Exactly.
I guess I'll be doing Scholar twice then.
White Mage, yeah. Well, you go ahead. I did White Mage and I did Scholar, so I'll get to it eventually, but it's kind of low on the list, you know.
The thing that makes it stand out for me is that I think, and it's not in the lore here, and I don't know if it's speculation or if it was released somewhere, that there were different stances for Astrologian. and depending on which stance you were in, decided what skills you had available or something to that effect.
Yeah, and I had actually read that too, and it has something to do with like a healing stance or a defensive stance, and that did pique my interest. But it'll probably be the last one out of the 3 new classes that I level.
That's
Tired.
interesting, but I think it depends on if they are in damage stance, how much damage could they put out?
Well, it sounds more like defensive kind of to me sounded more like it could switch between more of a white mage and scholar because white mage already has cleric stance, so I don't know if they would redo that again.
Since I
We're gonna have so much to talk about when Heaven's Sword comes out.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I just wish it would release more stuff. Like, the story is nice and everything, but the only thing that I got out of it was, the new lore from it was, the racist stuff, which we're gonna, go over here in just a minute, and the Dark Knight stuff. But the other two are just like, there's not enough lore there to keep me satisfied until Heaven's Word is released.
Well,
I think they're doing that on purpose, to be honest.
we do
Yep.
have Benchmark coming out in 6 days, so maybe we'll get something with that, or just the benchmark itself will reveal some stuff.
Be nice.
That's true.
I hope it's better than the last live letter because that just went over everything we've already known. But I guess this is a good time to go right into like the race stuff. So okay, so the aura. The curved horns and beautifully patterned scales that characterize the aura often rise to the speculation that this cure-like race native to the far eastern continent of Authored are in fact the prodigy of dragons. This, however, has long been disputed with scholars citing several distinct differences between the two races as evidence of the seemingly dissimilar roots. The first and foremost being the enhanced hearing and spatial recognition created by the aura's cranial projections, traits not attributed to draconian forms. And the second being the gross disproportion in body mass between are males and females. Again, a trait for the unseasoned dragons.
So I think that leaves it open to there being a lot of mystery about it because they always put it out as the dragon people, and it'll be neat to see, where they actually really came from.
Yeah, it will. I just don't think I'm still gonna stick with my cat girl.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna switch over.
I might.
I have one character I'm switching over for sure.
And then also was released the 2 names for the subclass or the subrace or whatever it's called. The Rain and the Exilia.
Exilio, I like the way they look.
Oh, I like the Rain or Rayen, or I guess I don't know the pronunciation for it, but I really like them. I think that they're, if I'm gonna switch away from my cat girl, it's gonna be something dainty and cute like that,
No, not for me.
Well, I know they did say that Aura could be created anything from super cutesy, like what they were showing in Tour of the North and stuff like that, into like a succubus looking side of them. So
That would be awesome.
they're not stuck to being super cutesy like they've been portrayed so far.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
go
and
for
I
the
think
super
it'll be,
cutesy.
well, and I think it'll be great though to have the variety, and giving people the space that they need to really express how they want to look in game. That's the one, and that's the thing. I find that the Makotes are rather limited. You can't add any muscle mass to them. They're absolutely bone thin and they're beautiful and they're my favorite. But I'd really love for my tune to weigh a little more than like 80 pounds.
Actually, you have a really really good point there. That's the only thing I don't like about the cat people is it is very very limited on how you can make them stand out or be more your own style.
Yeah, yeah, and so hopefully they'll bring that in with Aura, and if that's the case, that's definitely going to be um, selling point for me to switch over.
I think that's
Huh.
that. And I just think it's interesting that the difference between them is like the Ron is like more peaceful and really goes on an adventure, and the Exilia are free roving spirits that gather, war, and live in close-knit tribes.
Yeah, the Zayla really remind me of Keepers of the Moon. I think those are the kitty people that roam in small tribes. And that's what those remind me of. Rain, I don't really think I think that's pretty unique so far, just kind of being off on their own in their valleys.
And I think that for me, reading the lore about them really is what I found so attractive with them was the peacefulness and that they're kind of loners, and I liked that. So that might be a selling point for me. I guess we'll see.
And I like them too, and only because of that the same things you said, they're loners, they like their tranquility, and like, okay, I like those.
Yeah, so I guess it depends for me. Ultimately, a lot of what it's going to come down to is appearance as well. So if I can get, appearance-wise what I want out of them, it might happen. But I also have a feeling that, shortly after I might be purchasing another vial of Fantasia and going back to my kitty.
Well, you get one for the collector's edition, so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just bought another one last night, actually, to change over to Seekers of the Sun. And I'm already regretting it. So I guess SE will be getting a little bit more of my money.
I got two of them in with retainers.
Oh, I wish.
yeah, I used the one that you get for your first month. I already used that one to switch over to Makote, so
Yeah, I've never used any of mine.
Well, he'll still have these there, and he'll have these. You decide you want to change.
I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to. I mean, I'd like to see it, and your points are really valid as far as not being able to change them much. So I'd like to just kind of just once I see them and I can see if I'm may like to change it, and then maybe I may have to use the potion and another one to switch back.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out, right?
well, I mean, if they did like a stream or something where they're actually switching, actually just go through the customization of it, I think it's going to get more people more excited for the race and, a lot of the stuff that's been released so far.
That's what I'm waiting for, is to be able to what I can do with it, and then I'll go from there.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing I'm waiting for I assume that's in benchmark is the character creation for them.
Yeah.
seriously suggest everybody going to the Heavensward page because that page there is awesome. Because at the top, you got that trailer playing right on the page.
Yeah, that was very beautifully done.
It really was, and I really appreciate the way that they're. I think a lot of the mystery with a lot of it is purposeful to keep suspense and to keep people wondering what's going to happen and wanting and sticking around, you know.
That and that's just kind of Ishgard. They've always been closed off and mysterious, and no one really knows what goes on there except for them, and they won't let anyone in. So it'll be really interesting.
I just can't wait for the mad dash of, everybody running in, trying to, being overwhelmed.
I just can't wait for like all the early access people just to be guiding people like, oh, you gotta go there.
I
That
really
sometimes
want
is
to
the
be one of
worst
those.
part. I love to do it, but that's annoying when some people just don't get it. Or they don't want to be told, or they don't want to be given any kind of, help. And that can be a problem at times.
That is kind of how I am in dungeons. I'm talking if they were just released and everyone's new except maybe you've run it once or twice before. I don't really. I want to kind of figure it out along with everyone else. But of course, if it's been a month or even a few weeks out, it's probably better to just let someone talk you through it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's really why I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to secure early access, um, so that I'll have those extra few days where I'm not the one coming in after the fact. I want to be able to enjoy it without somebody telling me, okay, well, this is what you need to do, and this is what you need to do, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, that takes the fun out of it sometimes, most times
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
I just wonder like how they'll have to really surpass beforehand, I think, because it's gonna be like really awkward to not be in early access and just see like an aura or a dark knight just running past you and then crashing your, game because the files are not there in your game.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to work out. I'm sure that they've got some kind of plan in place for that, though, They have to. There's no way that they could just let things run rampant. And that's one thing that I really appreciate with SC is that they're really good. Very rarely do things go down. Very rarely does a lot of server instability happen. So I'm sure that they're going to put something in place to make sure that things are congruent.
As long as the PSN network stays running, then I'm fine.
Fair enough, right? Fair enough. I was out right as soon as we got the PS4 and we got into our house. My finally got the internet, and I was so ready to just delve into it on PS4 after coming out of PS3. And PSN went down for 4 days. I had just started my free company, couldn't get online. I couldn't man my free company. I couldn't build it. So I'm fingers crossed that doesn't happen again with PSN.
That happened to us, at least to my boyfriend. He's playing on PS4 and it went down for 4 days, and it's luckily our wedding was like postponed because of a bug that happened to us. But yeah, it went down like the day after our wedding was supposed to be, and I'm just lucky that it didn't happen like during that, because I would have been really mad then.
Right? I bet.
Yesterday I went to a bonding and he can't play because he's on PlayStation 4.
My husband actually ended up getting me the I think it was like $10 or $15 to be able to dual play it either on the PS4 or the PC for when that happened because it was down for so long.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's what I did, but I don't do so well when it comes to PC gaming. A little hard with the little one, so.
Me neither, but he has a remote attached to it, and you can also attach your PS4 controller directly
Mhm.
to the PC.
Yeah, and that's something that I want to do, but when I looked into the things that you have to do to make it happen, my tech self was left behind several years ago when I got laid off from my tech job at a call center. So it was like whew, over my head. So I just kind of forgot I just forgot about it and pretended it wasn't a thing that I could do.
But yeah, everything they released was nice, I thought, but except for like little snippets here and there, it wasn't like very, I guess, a lot of information.
It really wasn't, no. But like I said, I think that was purposeful. I really think that was purposeful.
Yeah, I think any more information that they give away, and they're going to be giving away too much of the actual story, and that takes away from the mystery of it all.
Exactly, exactly. They want to keep it a surprise. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Well, maybe we could get little snippets. We know that they're having a war with dragons, so I'm expecting to go in there and see dragons just attacking the city and seeing this war between, the meek and the holy ones. So it seems like there's a lot going on for what was released in the lore, but at the same time, I wish they would have done a little bit more to make you more excited with some of these new classes coming in.
Yeah, I agree. It was kind of just a filler, it feels like, Um, the one thing that I guess I'm kind of concerned about in a way, and I don't know necessarily why I'm concerned about it, maybe because I feel like it's going to lead to boredom for me, is that, with the dragons and Ishgard and Kurthus looking the way that it does, that it's going to be very Skyrim-like and very Elder Scrolls. And
I
although they're
hope
great
not.
games, I agree. I hope not, because I don't want to play a game I've already played, you know?
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, well, I haven't played Skyrim, but I don't want to play a game like that either, but it just seems like with the trailer and the lore stuff that they released, it looks like there's going to be, like, dragons, like, almost everywhere.
Well, that'll be okay. I'm okay with dragons. As long as it doesn't become too much like Skyrim. Like I said, I've already played Skyrim. Played the heck out of Skyrim.
Yeah, that was awesome though.
Yeah, it was a wonderful game. I don't want my Final Fantasy MMO to turn into something I've already played.
I agree with you.
Well, then I guess the other thing we could talk about is they did release a developer's blog, but it was just to show how gorgeous the X weapon is going to be.
Yes, I saw those pictures and they are awesome. I mean, Eorzea seemed like a beautiful world already, and then you add that into it, and it's like this is insane.
It's a whole new level.
I'm excited. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. I cannot wait to go to the city in the sky.
I can't wait for any of that either. And I mean, I am excited for Heaven's World, and I'm excited for the new classes, even more so now with Dark Knights, and I just can't wait to see everything.
Oh, me neither. The anticipation is killing me. And also I'm a little stressed out because I know that I'm going to be overwhelmed with all the stuff. And I think it's going to be great though. It's going to make me not want to go back to school in August.
I guess babysitters are going to have to be employed.
Nope, mines are old enough that bedtime is bedtime.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I
Plus, they'll be in the middle of summer vacation, so they get to just, run amok and have fun.
Maybe I'll put mine in daycare. No, I'm kidding.
Just give them gum.
Yeah, there you go. He'll be a little older by then, though, so we'll see how it goes. But regardless, I still have my duties as a parent. So
But I think that's all we're going to have for today. And this one was actually a little shorter than last week, but we didn't have that much to talk about. And we did get that person come in and decide to talk to us about whether we're hacking ISIS or the NSA.
yeah, yeah, that was really weird. I'm gonna get a password for it, so I will let you guys know. Once I get it set up, what it is.
All right.
And if you're listening to this, please email us or contact us and let us know how we're doing. Or if you disagree with any of our discussion or anything, just let us know, and this way we can discuss it on the show too.
Yeah, if you have any questions, anything you'd like to hear us talk about, just let us know.
Great.
And I think it's going to end the show. I'm just going to say goodbye and let you lovely ladies say goodbye there.
All right, goodbye. See you next week.
Bye. See you next week.
Goodbye.